Hi there, this is Victor. Welcome to my channel Vic5 and Season 5. So today I wanted to talk about AI, what it is, how it relates to us, and what it isn't. Okay, it's very likely that if you are been reading online or on TV, or at some point you've come across the term AI. AI stands for Artificial Intelligence. However, that's not really what it is. There is no such thing as artificial intelligence. If you think of intelligence as it relates to us as something that is self-thinking, then a computer is not self-thinking because a computer is all programming. Okay, we as human beings self-think, so we are intelligent. Okay, so how does AI relate to us in a way that we can understand it? All right, let me talk about texting as an example. Okay, when you text, you'll probably notice that words pop up, suggestions, right? And whether you're Android or Apple, it's pretty well the same thing, right? Now, what you may notice that as you text more often, and you'll start to see that as you're typing in a certain word or phrase, you have a certain phrase in mind, all of a sudden your phone seems to complete that phrase for you. And you're thinking, oh, it knows what I'm thinking. Well, no, not really. It is anticipating what you might want to text based on a series of questions that it asks itself. See, a computer, or in this case, an Android phone or an Apple phone, has a processor which can do hundreds and thousands of calculations per second, and it maintains a database. So every time you do texting, very likely it's going to take statistics. Things like how often you use the word, when you use the word, what morning, what day of the week, what time of the month. For as an example, suppose that every day I will wish somebody have a nice day, and it will be the same person. So on Monday I'll do this person, Tuesday I'll do that person. Okay, so it'll keep those statistics, and it'll start to notice that every time I start with HA, oh, I want to say have. So it'll ask a few questions. Oh, how many words have I typed in that have to start with HA? Oh, okay, HA is have. How often do I use that word? Oh, maybe 10 times a day. Okay, maybe this is the word that I want most likely. So it'll pop that word up first as a suggestion based on its programming on frequency. Okay, so then the more statistics that are kept, the more questions it asks about how frequent I'm going to be using these words and these persons' names, and it will eventually determine by a series of questions and answers that I want to say have a nice day to this person on this day. So when that happens, you or I will think, oh, it's thinking, it knows what I'm thinking, it's intelligent. Well, it's not. It's really predictive programming. And that's what I would call AI, predictive programming, because it's programming that's predicting what you might want or type or anyway, and it's helping you along by anticipating that through a series of questions and its database and statistics and queries. And so it's giving the most probable answer. And again, through programming, so predictive programming. You can see the same thing in robots. You know, sometimes I think I read recently where Japan or some company produced the most realistic robot that is using AI to be intelligent, conversing with a person. And of course, they're using the phrase AI, so you're thinking, oh, it's artificial intelligence again. No, it's not. It's predictive programming. In this case, a human-like robot would have, of course, a computer brain, processors, and everything else, and a lot of storage. So there would be extensive programming in terms of human responses to all these different type of questions for conversations. They could have recorded a whole bunch of conversations with people all over the world, then recorded the responses based on the initial starting conversation, and so it has this huge database. And so if you're talking to it, and it's because a computer can do processing thousands in a second or so, it can quickly look at this database and react in what might be the most logical response based on human conversation. And so the better the programming and the database and the queries, the more realistic that robot will be. And therefore you're thinking, oh, it's intelligent, it can anticipate what I'm talking about, no one around seems to be pulling the strings, and so it's intelligent, but it's not. It is just extremely good programming, predictive programming. AI does sound very splashy, and that's probably why they use it.